done this video in response to a few emails I've had from students. They've said they're really struggling to find a placement. Just some tips that I'm going to go through over the next few slides. Obviously, with COVID and the public health situation at the moment, not all schools are being that welcoming to different people coming in. So we have to obviously respect that. But I've been in touch with a number of my contacts, and I know that there are schools out there who are crying out for help, especially with COVID, because they would like some extra support. So in terms of finding a placement, first thing we do is start with your friends, family. It sounds really obvious. Some of these tips are really obvious, but speak to any friends, families that are teachers. These are just 24 hours you need to earn and accrue. So from the contacts that I've spoken to, from head teachers, they're crying out for help. So ask them if you could come in, if you could come and complete your hours. So a great place to start would be friends and family. Think about approaching your old school. It doesn't have to be conducted within Wales. So if you don't live in Wales, you could go back to your old school to conduct or just to accrue these hours. It may be you're still in touch with your old primary school and you can go back there. I'd definitely advise that as a great starting place as well. Communication's really key. So a lot of you have said that you've sent emails and you've heard nothing back. Probably, and I've spoken to a lot of head teachers about this, they get so many emails from different institutions, advertisers, all sorts. A lot of the time they just ignore a lot of their inbox. So really important that you actually make the effort to go into the school, to pick up the phone, to just go and take the initiative, go and ask in person makes a huge difference. And the head teachers that I've spoken to, they really would welcome you coming in at the end of the day, the start of the day, maybe lunchtime. They may not have time to see you, but you're probably going to get more success with that than just sending an email. Probably, if you send one email to one school, you're not going to have a great success rate. So it's about trying a few different schools, thinking about what is in your local area and targeting a few. What's really important, and again, I'm going to record a session with a head teacher from Lansana Primary. She's going to offer you some tips. But one of the main things she said is that you need to sell yourself. I know this is a placement, but again, schools are busy places. They don't want to have to think that they're going to have to babysit you the whole time. And that's not what the placement's for. It's an observational placement, but that doesn't mean you just need to sit at the back. Your role, you are going to be able to support. So although you're observing, although you'll be going to be, and you'll have a few tasks related to that, you can complete the role as a volunteer to help in a teaching assistance capacity. So you can help to support groups. You can, obviously not planning any teaching, but you can help interventions. You can help with reading groups, for example. You could help with any administrative tasks. You could even help with some after-school clubs. So really important that when you're going into these organisations, when you go into schools, say to them that you're going to be able to help. You're going to be able to take reading groups. It's so important that you're not just saying, can I do a placement? You need to say, within this placement, I'm going to be able to help you here, 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 and mention explicitly what the benefits are to the school. Also, a number of schools, one of the head teachers that I've been speaking to have said that some head teachers are worried about safety. You can mention our risk assessment. So all placements will go through a risk assessment that you guys will complete. So it's just making sure that when you come onto the premises, you're going to be managing your own safety. So you can even mention that, look, please can I come on to complete these 24 hours? I am going to make sure that I'm safe. I'm going to comply with all the risk assessment. I'll be making sure I've got a mask, those sort of things. And again, that can really help to open the doors for this placement. Also, really important to manage the expectations for the school and just say that, a lot of head teachers are really busy. They haven't got time to take on. The head teacher I was speaking to almost felt like a burden for them, and it doesn't have to be at all. You could be a really good beneficial member of staff whilst you're there, and you could offer that support, but you need to spell that out to them. a number of heads, these heads have said that they will just assume that this is going to work for them. But you need to say to them, look, and manage their expectations to say that, you'll be doing a lot of the work, you can offer support, you'll be doing the risk assessment. You need to sell yourself. Really, really important. This is going to be beneficial to the school. I say this a lot, I've said it before, the power of chocolate goes a long way. So if you go into a school, bring a box of chocolates, bring some chocolate to say, look, I really would love to come and support your school. I'd love to see what goes on behind the scenes. I'd love to see what learning goes on. Please, could I come in just for 24 hours over the period of January and February? Here is some chocolate. You will be surprised at the power of chocolate. Not everyone's going to do this. And you've got to think there are universities out there from USW, from Trinity, from Swansea. They're all going to be asking schools the same things. They won't all be offering chocolate. It goes a long way. Definitely think about doing that. As a last resort, there is the placement office. The placement office can support you, but we do remind you that this is a really important aspect of the placement module, is actually finding a placement. You are going to learn some really key skills. So you're going to develop some really good skills in trying to find a placement. You're going to think about and start to develop writing emails, picking up the phone, speaking to head teachers. This is all part of the process, and actually it will really help when you start to look for work when you finish on the course. So if you are really stuck, please get in touch with the placement office, but have a go. They will ask you, where have you tried? They'll be able to help, but they can't help everyone. And again, it's really important that you get out there and you start to canvass a lot of schools in your local area, their friends, family, and just ask a number of schools. Really important that you do that and you get on that now. The module is going to be starting in January. If you don't have a placement by then, you're not going to be able to accrue these hours. So look, we've given you a lot of time. Make sure you get onto this and you start to try a lot of schools. Okay. If you've got any questions, any problems, start with so go on to the Moodle page. There's a forum there. If you've got any questions, I can answer them for you. See you soon.